This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock on this Friday. RTV6 is at opening day at the Indiana State Fair. It is also RTV6 Day at the fair. Our Amanda Starantino and Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory will bring us all a slice of the sights and the sounds of this summer tradition. As you can see, it is packed. People are having a great time. We'll take you to Main Street in just a few moments. But first at 5, RTV6 is working for you, getting answers for drivers on the city's northeast side. They're reaching out with questions about a road closure that is causing a lot of traffic congestion, especially now that Lawrence Township schools are back in session. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is now clearing up all of that confusion.
The signs are up and Lee Road is closed, but drivers we're hearing from aren't exactly happy. They thought this closure here would last for just 2 weeks as DPW crews work to replace a culvert here, but now they are learning this closure will last until the end of August.
We did not know that up front. I thought it was going to be about 2 weeks total.
Randall Dodge lives near 63rd and Lee Road. He's enjoying an afternoon walk on what would normally be a busy street. But construction is bringing less traffic through the area. Despite taking advantage of the closure, he ultimately wants the construction work on Lee Road to wrap up. Because when he's driving, he says, it causes delays.
Well, it's certainly causing a little bit of an inconvenience as we have to plan to get around it each day, especially most of our progress to and from work and friends is on Fall Creek Road, and so the detour takes us several miles out of the way, and we have to just plan an extra 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, a big concern is that this project was supposed to be completed on July 31st, according to the city of Lawrence, from the information that they got from the city of Indianapolis.
We reached out to DPW. They say the project is on schedule and will not be complete until the end of the month. A spokeswoman says they have asked the city of Lawrence to update information online, which alerts drivers about road closures. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, drivers are asking if the project is going to cause the road to be closed until the end of the month. Why is no one out working? We are getting answers from DPW, and they say it comes down to redirecting creek water in order to continue the job. Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Nicole, we'll see you tonight on the news at 6. If you have a problem and need help getting results, contact us at our email, workingforyou@rtv6.com. Good news for drivers in central Indiana. We could use some relief on the roads. INDOT says that westbound Interstate 70 between the South Split and I-465 on the west side, good news, has reopened early. That is 2 days ahead of schedule. You can see traffic on westbound I-70. There's not much traffic there, but it is moving freely, we're told. The road had been shut down for extensive repairs, but the eastbound lanes of I-70 between I-465 and the South Split, they remain closed. Only one direction of traffic is moving in this area, as you can see from our live INDOT camera. Now, INDOT shut down the interstate in both directions last Friday, creating major headaches for drivers forced onto city streets or the congested highway detour. Eastbound work continues, and INDOT says those lanes, they will reopen no later than early Monday morning. That will be relief to those commuters. Now, taking a live look outside on this Friday, TGIF. What a wonderful week, full of just dry and warm, but very comfortable conditions. Your evening outlook will not disappoint you, whether you're staying at home, taking a bike ride, or enjoying the Indiana State Fair. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mouse is here with all of the good news. You get a pay raise. I'm going to get you an extra tenderloin and a lemon shake-up. What do you want?
Well,
I'm paying for it.
We'll just keep that in mind when the weather makes a turn, right? But we've got some great weather out there for the first day of the Indiana State Fair. Right now, those temperatures in the lower to middle 80s. It's 85 degrees in Indianapolis, 82 for you in Kokomo, and 85 in Bloomington. And keeping that humidity in check for us is this northeast breeze around 10 miles per hour, even a little bit higher than that for you right now in the Bloomington area. Storm Team 6 radar, it is nice and quiet here across the Hoosier State. And as we look back off to the west, that's where we find some rain in the Dakotas and into Nebraska. But that's pretty much where it's going to stay here over the next couple of days. So that works out pretty nice for your plans this weekend. This evening, if you're heading out there to the Indiana State Fair, temperatures still in the lower 80s for us at 7 o'clock. 75 at 10. We'll have those mostly clear skies. Sun sets just before 9 o'clock this evening.
Carl, thank you so much. 17 days of celebrating heroes of the heartland. The State Fair is not just about the rides or the food. It is a reminder that our state's agriculture has a global role in exporting billions of dollars in crops and supporting 1 in 7 jobs right here in our state. This also happens to be RTV6 Day at the fair. So let's go live right now to Amanda Starantino and Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory with all of the fun. And you guys have a ribbon already.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well, Raphael. There's a lot to see and do here, and obviously we have a lot of things to celebrate. I mean, just a few hours ago, you were ribbonless.
Yes. Sandra is now a grand champion at the Indiana State Fair in baking. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so what did you bake?
Swedish pineapple cake and banana bread.
Give us one tip. What's the key to baking successfully?
Making sure you measure everything correctly.
And that's why I'm not good at baking.
To the last ounce. And sift that flour, right?
Pardon?
Do you have to sift the flour?
No, most flour anymore you don't have to.
See, I was just trying to act like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. Food is always popular here, isn't it?
Food is always a main thing when you come to the State Fair. Right when I got here, I walked right to the buttered corn, but throughout the fair, I mean, everybody's walking around with the corn dogs, the funnel cakes, the turkey legs, you name it.
There's a tram that will take you around the entire State Fair. You could walk because you'd never get tired because it's a refueling station every 50 feet where it's a highly personal decision what you decide to eat here at the State Fair. But I don't think anyone ever leaves hungry. So what happens now, Sandra? You go home with the ribbons, but does your food stay here?
Yes, it stays here till the end of the fair, and then they dispose of it after that.
Okay, 17 days for the State Fair. She's the pride of Anderson. A big round of applause for Sandra, and she is a grand champion. Now, I'm going to butter you up. This is day 1 of the State Fair, but we're going to go and visit a family farm in Lebanon that is popping something just for you.
Welcome to Lamb Farms in Boone County. This family operation has deep roots back to 1963 and is run by brothers Don and Dean along with their father Bob. They farm thousands of acres. This year's wet weather has been the most challenging ever.
My dad's been through 56 crops now, and he usually can say, oh yeah, this one's like this year, and most of the time that does work. This year it actually has become to where this one's kind of like no other, even for him.
This year is memorable for another reason too. The lambs are featured farmers at this year's Indiana State Fair.
It's a neat opportunity. We're honored to be asked to be there, and it's really like I talked about before. We like the opportunity to tell people about agriculture. We love agriculture. Agriculture is a fun business to be in. We're proud of what we do. We're proud of how we do it. So the opportunity to let people know how you do that is always good. And you can just see it. It's really green. Green's a great indicator. The darker green, the more healthy it is in general.
I'm here at their farm to learn about this. Don't recognize it?
Popcorn is different. We get that question a lot. What's different about popcorn? It is a completely different plant, and that's about as big as it gets.
There's also a difference in posture.
The leaves are a little bit more droopy than regular corn. Most regular corn kind of stands upright, and popcorn droops a little bit more.
There's a lot to stand up and be proud of.
Popcorn is kind of an Indiana story, really. It is neat when you think about Indiana's #1 in popcorn, and everybody thinks about Orville Redenbacher back in the day. Most every kernel popped had that glass jar with all the pretty kernels in it. Indiana is a major player in popcorn, so when we think about our state, we think about agriculture, that's one that we're in the lead on, and so I'm pretty proud of popcorn in our state.
There's a trick to getting nearly every kernel to pop.
Popcorn pops because it has a little bit of moisture inside of each kernel, and it needs to be between 14 and 17% moisture. That's real important, or it won't pop. So our challenge is to get it down to 17% naturally with sunshine, because we can't dry it like we might other corns.
Butter or no butter?
Butter.
Salted or unsalted?
Salted.
Fresh or a little bit older?
Fresh.
Future farmers may not have much time to snack.
So is farming going to get easier for the next generation?
No. It's not. No, just more to do.
And guess what we have in the RTV6 break room? It's big, it's loud, and everyone in the building knows when a fresh batch is coming out.
We have our popcorn. Buttered, salted?
Both. Although some people, you'd think they salt the roads because they put too much salt on the popcorn and then it's ruined. Just to show you that the State Fair is all about food, I'm going to close my eyes and spin, and I point saltwater taffy right there. Anytime you spin and just point, you're going to land on some kind of food.
And at the Indiana State Fair, we are celebrating our agriculture here in Indiana, and it's all kinds from popcorn, we have everything, and we're even talking about honey.
So if we've got honey, that means there must be bees somewhere. Our Alyssa Donovan followed her ear, followed the buzz, and this is what she found out.
She's going to run and jump into the lake.
I've had my fair share of bee stings, so I definitely thought about it.
So right here we've got, I think it's 16 to 17 hives, each consisting probably 40, 50,000 bees.
And right now, those bees are not too happy with Kevin Bowman.
And we just took their honey from them, so they're still a little upset.
The Bowman family started beekeeping as a hobby, but now it's grown into a booming business based here in Hanover, Indiana.
My great-grandfather started beekeeping basically to have sugar. He would trade his sugar ration cards for basically rubber and tires for his equipment on his farm.
In 2012, the family started selling honey to local stores. Growing their great-grandfather's legacy started during World War II into a successful honey business, distributing across several states.
Some of this equipment actually is my grandfather's equipment. You come across one of his boxes or lids and just have that connection with them is really cool.
This season, production was a bit lower than normal.
The weather has been a little bit hard on us as far as rain. The bees don't get out and forage as much.
Each hive producing around 50 pounds.
Everything above here is what we call the supers.
Okay.
So that's all the excess honey that they don't need.
Those are removed twice a year.
Next, the supers are brought here, and that's when the process starts to extract the honey.
So this machine here removes all that wax cappings off of it. Yep, that's all honey.
Next, the frames that hold the honey are placed in this.
As it spins, it uses centrifugal force to pull all the honey to the edge here, and then flows down to the bottom and out. Basically, that's what it looks like afterwards.
Oh, okay.
All the honey out of it. Right, feel the weight difference. So that.
Ooh, yeah.
Compared to.
Oh my gosh.
The honey is filtered through a strainer, getting out the last of the wax.
And this is a real light, sweet honey. The fall is going to be a little bit of a darker honey. It's going to have a little more robust flavor profile to it.
They say both their fall and spring honey pack more flavor and health benefits than what you'll typically find at the grocery store.
A lot of what you get at a grocery store is ultra filtered and pasteurized, so you lose a lot of the beneficial proteins and enzymes and the pollen that's inside the honey.
Bowman is also starting to branch out, producing honey with natural flavoring and a spicy honey on the way. In Hanover, I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Spicy honey.
There you go. And in the agriculture building right down there, Purdue Extension is where you can find some honey. Heroes of the Heartland, that's what we're celebrating here at the State Fair. Certainly, farmers are one of the heroes. Armed services, first responders, all the Hoosiers that are helping us on a daily basis.
And you guys have been able to check out a lot of these featured farmers.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I learned just about the bees and the honey, and then as well popcorn and how to pick it out in the field.
Perfect. Well, when you come to the Indiana State Fair, I know in my experience here, we're usually so hot. But if you can make it out right now, it's beautiful. I've been picking up all the fans, but we don't even need them.
There's a nice breeze, and of course, the Midway is alive till late in the evening, and you've got some stats here on when the doors open. It took a little longer to get into the fair today, so be aware when you're coming in, allow plenty of time. Parking is probably your greatest challenge, and then once you're in here, you've got some elbow room.
Gates open at 9 a.m. for the rest of the State Fair, so make sure to come on in. There's some free concerts. We have a great one tonight with Ace Frehley, founding member of KISS, and then Chase Rice on Sunday. I'll probably be there. So a lot of free concerts to have and a lot of the superheroes. I hear Spider-Man's here today.
Spider-Man is right there, and that is a big picture spot here at the Indiana State Fair. Now, we got this at the Dairy Barn. All we've done is pass it back and forth and watch the meltdown. Nobody's had a chance to really dig into this, but that is going to change.
To the newscast, so it's gotta go.
We'll send it back to you guys. We'll be back with more, of course, at 6 o'clock.
You need to drop those mics, get, obviously, you have a milkshake, get a lemonade, and enjoy everything, because, Kevin, right, every day is a great day at the Indiana State Fair. Thank you so much, guys. Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6. Weddings can be enormously expensive, so some people are going a different direction. We show you the growing trend of micro weddings and what you need to know. But first, hiring Hoosiers. Dress for Success. One group trying to give women a leg up when it comes to job interviews. How you can help and benefit from this program. But first, let's check in with Kyle.
And Raphael, our recent stretch of dry weather is catching up to us. We now have abnormally dry conditions which have developed north of Indianapolis. I'll focus in on our next chance for some rain. You're watching RTV6 News at 5.
Now at 5, right now, we need you to take a look at these photos and see if you know this man or his whereabouts. Police believe he killed 19-year-old Evelyn Lopez, whose body was found near the playground at the Sawmill Apartments Monday on the city's southeast side. Metro Police say they have a warrant out for the arrest of 19-year-old Emerson Ariel Ortiz Pacheco. Detectives say he's a citizen of Honduras, and they believe he may be trying to leave the United States. If you have any information about Pacheco, you're asked, you can remain anonymous. You could also call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV initiative, as you know, to get you ready to land that job that you want. And one local group is out to help women find success. Today, the organization Dress for Success kicked off their Send One Suit drive, which takes place the entire month of August. Dress for Success collected clothing on Monument Circle this afternoon, but the group still needs your help the rest of this month. Dress for Success is asking you for donations of women's professional suits in all sizes. Clothing items are given to unemployed or underemployed women through their Suits for Success program.
So the clothing goes right to the Dress for Success boutique, where female women who are looking for jobs can come and they can receive interview attire that helps them feel confident and look really professional so they can land the job of their dreams.
Clothing donations for women's suits and blouses can be made throughout the week at any Classic Cleaner store, or you can go to Dress for Success's office at 820 North Meridian Street, Monday through Friday. That's from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. each and every single day. That is a worthy cause. Hopefully you can help them out. Time to check your forecast. And boy, the temperatures out there have been fantastic. And it's a little warm up coming, right? But it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah, no, maybe. We're not talking about getting back into the 90s here. So this is pretty typical stuff for early August here. What we could use is a little bit of rain at this point. We don't want it for the weekend, and the good news is we don't have it until next week. Right now, we're enjoying 85 degrees, and check out that humidity. Just 41%. Very enjoyable air out there, and it's courtesy of that northeast breeze around 10 miles per hour. 86 degrees for you right now in the Columbus area, 85 in Lafayette. We look around downtown, we find those temperatures in the lower 80s. Plainfield at 83 degrees this afternoon. Storm Team 6 radar, nice quiet scan for us, and again, I think it's going to stay that way. So pleasant weather if you're going to be heading out to the Indiana State Fair this evening. Your temperature in the lower 80s at 7 o'clock. Just a couple of clouds out there at that point. We'll keep those skies mostly clear. And as we get to 11 o'clock this evening, our temperature in the lower 70s. So it's going to be a warm start to the weekend here as we get into the afternoon on Saturday, 87 degrees. And notice it's kind of a carbon copy here as we go into our Sunday. Lots of sunshine both days. You're going to need that sunscreen if you're spending any time outdoors, with highs around 87. We'll notice a little more humidity in that Sunday forecast, but tomorrow morning starting off, some areas in the 50s. Comfortable 54 in Lafayette, 59 in Rushville, and 62 in Greenwood. That's what happens when we have this drier air in place. We're able to cool down during the overnight, and we'll warm up pretty quickly here on your Saturday as well with all that sunshine around. Upper 70s for you at 11 a.m. We'll have that breeze out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and temperatures making their way mid to upper 80s across across central Indiana. 87 degrees in Indy, as well as Bloomington, 85 in Lafayette. And then the Sunday forecast, we'll add in a few more clouds here as we go through the afternoon. Otherwise, not a whole lot of change here. A little more humidity into the afternoon, 86, so it'll feel a little closer to the 90-degree mark. 7-day planning forecast, as we put it all together, will continue with dry weather on Monday. Then we get into that chance for a shower or thunderstorm coming our way on Tuesday. But you notice it's only about a 30% chance Wednesday and Thursday as well. But that also is going to keep those temperatures in check pretty comfortable here with highs in the 80s.
So dinner is on me. I've called Kevin Gregory while you were doing weather. So whatever you want.
Put the order in?
Put the order in since it is RTV6 Day at the fair because you deserve it. I mean, with that
corn dog, elephant ear,
whatever you want. We'll get you doubles. We'll be right back. You want triples? We'll get you triples.
Yeah, okay.
That's why people feel more comfortable shopping at Meijer.
For most, those test your speed games at baseball stadiums around the country are just that. They're just a game. But for one fan, it led to a contract with a Major League Baseball team. A couple of weeks ago, Nathan Patterson was at Colorado Rockies game, and Patterson wowed the crowd with pitches at 90, 94, 94, and 96 miles an hour. The fans in Colorado were not the only ones impressed with Patterson. Less than a month later, he signed a contract with the Oakland A's. Patterson is 23 years old and says he played baseball up until his senior year of high school. What an incredible story. Maybe this one will now turn into a movie. We wish that young man all the very best. Coming up all new at 6, we'll take you to an Indiana winery where not only grapes but peaches are used to make award-winning wines. And to do the job right, as you can see, you need to do a lot of stomping. It's all part of our RTV6 Day at the Fair coverage that is all new at 6 at the top of the hour. But first, on the Now Indy, a local animal shelter cancels a huge adoption event planned for this weekend. We'll show you why all of the animals at the shelter are now under quarantine. You're watching RTV6.